Hello, I'm in the dark. Now, I'm doing this video for the Naked Chef for Tesco Infinite. And excuse me while I just eat some of my panini, my main meal. Which I just purchased in Shell because Tesco's are closed on bank holidays. And a wonderful store called Tesco that used to be open 24 hours a day. Now it closes at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. It used to be open 24 hours a day. I miss it so much. So I've gone around tonight to see if they've got a post box to launch the Tesco Infinite. A message to the management that I'm working on the Tesco Infinite. And much of the muchness, which is education for age UK over 50s and children between the age of 1 and 44. Right, I think those are the ages. I've got something between 44 and 60, which is for the unemployed DWP training. Right, I've got a panini, a pepperoni and a Yorkie double and an Advocaat and Prosecco purchased from Tesco. Good health, Tesco. Happy New Year. I'm a community guardian, BA019, for Manchester City Council. And on Christmas, New Year's Eve, I went to my local, the Gardeners, protopage.com, the Gardeners, and I was sat on my own when a young man called Paul turned around to me and said hello. I said, "I'm sorry, Paul, I didn't recognise you there. I'll have a word with you shortly." So I was sat on my own, and the lad came up, and Steve sat next to me. He introduced himself to me. He said, "Hello, you on your own?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm Alan, and I'm Steve." So I said to Steve, "In 10 minutes, I'm going to launch a business called IBM, Infinity Business Management, and I'd like you to be part of that." So he said he would. So he said he'd get the beers in for New Year's Eve, a couple of pints, double up. So he went to the bar, and the bar was closed till after New Year's Eve. So he came back, and there was a gentleman sat on his own, dressed in leathers, biker leathers. And it was my intention to talk to him to see if he wanted to do a website called Welcome Biker. I was going to introduce myself in the new year. Anyway, Steve went to chat with him and invited me over. And he said his name was Munch. I said, "Oh, Munch, what do you do?" He said, I don't work. I'm unemployed at the moment." He said he was 64. He said he was a laser printer. I said, "A laser printer? I could do with a laser printer. Will you join my company as an associate consultant?" I got speaking to him, and it turns out he's an ex-programmer, an ex-basic programmer. So I thought, right, I can recruit you, Munch, into my college, my BSG Elite College. So we got chatting, and we had a nice night. We had a good night. But Munch said he doesn't want to get involved with planning and projects. He's a free spirit, and he'll turn up on Friday night to have a meeting with me. But if he doesn't turn up, then it's because something else has cropped up. But he's very casual about what he does. So I said, "Well, that suits me, Munch. Well, give me your phone number, and I'll set you up with an email address." So Steve said, "Hey, there's a piece of paper." I borrowed pen and paper from behind the bar. I said, "Give me your phone number and your email address." So he did that. We had a nice night. And I came to go home. And on the way home, I saw Millennium Taxis. So I thought I need a taxi company, so that'll be part of my Red Octopus taxis, Millennium Taxis. I need a taxi company, so I'm going to start Red Octopus Taxis as Millennium Taxis. Or I'll call it Infinity Taxis, because I've rebranded Red Octopus as Infinity, so I'm going to be doing Infinity Taxis. To the Pizza Maker, another website of mine, the Pizza Maker, which does the Manchester discount card for discount pizzas from Northern in Manchester. So we'll do a Millennium Taxi run to the Pizza Maker in Northern for social events held at the Gardeners. I'll arrange a social night, a pizza night at the Gardeners in the new year. Right, so I came home and I started work, and fortunately, Proto page was up and running. It's been down all Christmas. So I registered Munch of a Muchness for doing education. Now, I've been filling out my book. I'm on now to about January the 17th. And I have a system where I just scribble down everything I need to do. Then I do a Deruma doll at the top of the page for tasks. And I put a line through it that I started it, and then a line through it that I've started ending it. And when I've finished me starting, I close it off. And when I finish me ending, I close it off. And this is a video, a belated video for the 1st of January, because I'm working on the 1st of January. It started the 1st of January, so this is a belated January. So I'll read out what I'm doing. I'm doing Tesco Infonet, Munch of a Muchness, and Hoskins Education. Now I'll tick those all as started. Then I'm doing IBM Q5R. IBM Q5R. One is I is an initiator. 2, B is business analyst, and M is methodology analyst. Q0 is a systems administrator. Q1 is a scrum master. Q2 is a senior programmer. Q3 is a programmer. Q4 is a technical consultant, associate consultant, a monitor. And R is for reflection. So I'm going to be programming that in Proto page, which is what's been done by my mate Richard. Richard Gilbert has done forest404.com for Proto pages. So I think I'll actually break that down now. I'll do that as a sub frame set within IBM Q4, because that's a better format. It can give me a product owner, a scrum master, systems administrator, and a senior programmer. And then we have a second set of Q4 for junior programmers, junior analysts, database administrators, and laser printers. Just thought of that, laser printers. That's the way I've been munching, is laser printing, to do awards. To do awards for to sell at Tesco for people who've achieved performance in learning for BSG Elite. Right, I go on to talk about Twitter, shorthand. And I go on to talk about monitoring methodology and brainstorming for M. Brainstorming. IBM brainstorming. Right, and finally, I'm going to note that an EGM was held for Infinity at the Gardeners for Infinity Business Management, shareholder Steve Petty, and much. And that's as much as I'm going to say in my video for January the 1st. But today, it's January the 2nd, I've been in bed watching videos all day, in much of a muchness, and I did a history of the internet, and discovered that Brotherhood 2.0 was one of the earliest websites of people doing podcasting. So I'm doing myself a YouTube channel called Brotherhood 3.0. So watch Brotherhood 3.0 and watch Tea Time Movies, Goodnight Vienna, and my Harvard keynote speech. Right. Thank you. Goodnight Vienna. Welcome Harvard. Welcome Stanford. We're going to be doing Sycamore, which is programming for quantum computing. Welcome to Forest 404.